So after singing the praises of the wide belt a couple of weeks ago, it's decided to have a little bit of a breakdown. The thickness height gauge has stopped working. There's a little pressed wheel on the back here that drives a gear inside the gauge. And both that little gear there and the one that is pressed on the stub shaft that drives it, that attaches with the grub screwed collar. It's a bit of a weird setup that this tiny little plastic ring is pressed onto that shaft with such a tight tolerance. That's probably why it's failed. There's about 2mm gap in that thing when it's pushed tight around that shaft. So it's quite a high tolerance, high interference fit. So that's played up, now doesn't count the height, and that's really annoying because it needs to be dead accurate and it's quite hard to find the right thickness without a gauge. So I've decided to upgrade this to a digital readout, and I've gone for just a dead simple Wixey remote planer readout gauge. So this is battery powered. It just fits to the machine and to the bed, and there's a little electronic device that slide over each other, and then a digital readout that's remote mounted. In essence, you can mount it however you want, as long as this part slides over this part at some point on the machine, and one of them is fixed to the bed and one of them is fixed to the machine. So I'm only going to be using this bottom 150mm, so I can mount this bracket kind of backwards to how they intend you to mount it, and then I'm going to put it onto the bed of the machine like this. So the aluminium rod with the gauge on it will be mounted to my bed and move up and down, and then the measuring device here that reads onto the scale will be fixed to the machine and be a constant position. Now it's kind of uncanny, but there is a couple of little holes in the side of my bed here that are actually the exact same spacing as the bracket on here, and it's in the perfect position as well. So those holes are tapped for M5, so I can just put a little bolt through there, reach past the back of that gauge and get that attached. The reason I've decided to mount it this way round is so that I've got quick access to this knob here. What that is designed to do is to zero your readout very quick and easy. So you just push a piece of material through the sander, let it sand it to whatever thickness it's sanding at, undo this knob, pull it up, slide your piece of material in there, let it rest on top of it, do it back up, zero your gauge, and then take the piece of material out, reset it back down onto that plate, and that is your sanding machine zeroed in. There's no measuring or anything like that, no inaccuracies. It's done off the piece of wood you've just pushed through it, and it's dead quick. So that's going to be really handy for when you change belts. So when you go from a 40 grit to say a 240 grit belt, there's quite a difference in the thickness of the paper, which shows up in the readout on the bed height. So every time you change the belt, you can just zero the first piece through. That's going to be a really handy feature. So if I just tweak that over so it's roughly true to the machine. The elongated holes in that bracket are there, so you can pivot the gauge left and right to true it up to the direction of travel of the bed. And then that gives me a position for mounting the second bracket. Now the way this is held on and is moved up and down, you can bolt it to the bracket, but the idea of the Wixey system is they've got a little magnet here, and the magnet attaches to this reader and allows if there is a slight intolerance in the gauge, it allows it to just move left and right very slightly, rather than trying to wear the gauge through and have to be set up really accurately with a DTI. So the magnet just takes out any slight intolerance in the setup. So all we need to do is mount this bracket to the underside of the machine here, making sure I've got enough scale off the bottom of the gauge so that the bed can go right up to the full height. I've already worked out where this was going to go, because there's a cable that comes off the back of this bracket. Now normally this wouldn't be mounted facing the machine, but it just sits beautifully so it plumbs into the top of this little nook here, and it's completely out of the way. It's not going to get caught by anything. I can route that cable inside the frame of the machine and make it pretty much invisible. So it's kind of the perfect position for it. It's just there, nothing's going to get damaged or knocked off, and that gauge is going to be really easy to use. So I can just put this magnet on the machine here. They say to use one of these tabs on one of the corners, but when you put it on there, there's quite a lot of play left to right between up and down travel, whereas if you sit it in the middle, it's a direct movement up and down and will be more accurate. So I'm going to mark that and drill. Obviously I've had a quick look inside the machine to see what I'm drilling into to make sure there's no wiring or anything in there, and I've turned it off in case I do drill through a wire. For the gauge, it was in a really good position just above this handle for a fine height adjustment. So I'm going to keep with it down here and mount it kind of level with this. So I've got to bear in mind that the cable is coming out the bottom here. I kind of want that to route behind this slot and be completely out of the way. I also want to be able to read it while I'm standing up. So if it's sat like that, the cable's got to kind of point out, whereas if it was higher up on the machine, it would be nice if the cable came straight out and into the machine. It's less likely to get damaged. I'm just going to tighten that gauge up because I don't want it too wobbly. I don't want basically the cable to sit out at too much of an angle. It's going to be more risky, more vulnerable to catch it. So I'm going to sit it back like that. What I'm doing here is just running the bed up and down and dialing that gauge in so it runs true to the counterpart component so that they don't rub or try and move as it slides up and down. Time to put some batteries in it and see if we can zero it out. There's loads of videos on how to calibrate these, but just quickly run you through it. You can undo the fastener there, push your piece of wood in, set it down so the spring pulls it together, then press hold to calibrate, which will set it to 0. Then when you remove the piece of wood, let it drop down and lock that off. That gives you the thickness of the piece of wood. So for example, if I use this piece of CLS that I just sanded, we'd press 0 at that calibration after we'd sanded that piece through, drop it back down gently, lock it off, and we'd be about right. So there we go, worthy little upgrade. This is working really well for me. The mechanism before for setting the height relied on the turning of the spindle on a gear ratio. So it's all worked out together on gear ratios. So when you wind the bed down on the powered rise and fall, to get it to actually move back up again with the fine adjust, you did 3/4 of a turn on that before the bed would actually move. So there was that much inaccuracy. It's kind of like a 0.1 of a millimetre of inaccuracy, which when you're using the finer grits of sandpaper, that's quite a lot of inaccuracy to equate for. So you ended up creeping up to the workpiece to make sure that you didn't burn the belt out. Whereas now I've got the DRO, it should be really, really accurate. So you can go straight to the size that you've set it at and that you want to sand at, without having to waste that time pushing pieces through to make sure that you're actually at the right height. So should be a worthy upgrade. I'll update if anything goes wrong with it in the future. The only thing that's slightly bugging me, but I don't want to adjust it, is I mounted this the wrong way up, and that's so that the cable went into the void there. What I'm planning to do is just to make up a shortened version of this cable with a bit of Cat 5 cable, or maybe even cut this one so that the plug literally goes in and plug straight into there, and then I can turn this around and just have a really short cable from there to there straight into the readout. So this wire I've pulled nice and tight, and I'll zip tie it to the plug of the other wire so it holds in a fixed position. Then I've poked them into the machine and zip tied them up inside so they're out of harm's way at all the excess cable. So it should be here for a nice lasting solution. The only thing I can see being a problem is if any of the nuts that don't have Loctite on vibrate loose, so we'll see how that goes.